Okay, here we are again. We start with our pipe, connects here, 2-inch pipe. We want a pressure gauge. This will give us an indication of obviously our pressure, but it tells us what's going on with the pipe. If we have trouble up at the headstock, if we've got air in our pipe, the pressure indicator will give us an indication. Then we've got a hose bib. Now the reason we have a hose bib here is because we have another line that comes down that we can backfill our hose our pipe if we need to. And the reason we might want to do that is if the pipe empties for some reason and we lose flow, it's very difficult up at the top at the intake to get water into the pipe and create enough flow to then get it sucking down the pipe. So what we do is we put a hose bib on and we run another pipe next to it, and then we backfeed the pipe to 50 psi, backs up the water all the way up the pipe to probably about 100 feet. And then once we've got that fully, another reason we have the pressure gauge, because it'll tell us that when we're at 50 psi we've got enough water. And then we can open the valves and we can purge the system, and it will start drawing from the penstock again. So anyway, we come down, we have a diversion valve. Again, this is we would shut this one off and then direct the water out the side of it. And we do this because if we need to clear the pipe of air or rocks or just general junk that we don't want in the pipe, we want to do a clean. Say we've just cleaned out the filter and there might be a bit of debris that's come down the pipe, we just clear it. Our main shut-off valve, our two reducers, we're going to go to PVC here just for costs, but we'll go to two 1-inch lines, which we've got some pretty good radiator hose here, which will sit on this guy and then move to the turbine itself, turbine inlet. Okay, we come off that, we have another shut-off valve, which we want close to this because this will be where the water stops, and we don't want it freezing, so we want some turbulence in here that'll keep this from freezing, which it will do. Same with this join, because we could get trapped water in there, and if we do and it sits and it gets cold, well then we run the risk of freezing. But in this case, there's enough turbulence going on in here that it doesn't freeze, and as long as we keep the turbine running, we're not going to have a problem. So then we're just going to come to a cam lock fitting, and the reason we're going to come to a cam lock fitting is we want to be able to use the water for fire. If we need to, we can run to a pump or just even to a hand pump, a hand hose rather, with a fire nozzle on it. It'll give us a lot of pressure, 100 psi, 100 gallons a minute flow. It's a good fire prevention system. So this is the basis of what we're going to construct. The only other thing that I might put in here is a union here, so that we can pull these two parts together. Let's say that this gets broken or something happens, we don't have to disassemble the whole kit to repair. So we might put a quick disconnect union in here, just a glue one, and then we can replace these parts as we need to, because I find that they're prone to having problems. It's schedule 40 PVC, it'll handle the pressure, but there's just a lot of that goes on. We get air in our systems, it's not a perfect sealed system, and if air comes down it can exceed an air pocket. It'll just exceed the 100 psi. We're going to do a bit of a change here. If I put this in as it is right now, there's just too much, it's occupying too much space. I want to bend this guy around and have them so that I can feed them. I want the penstock pretty close to the turbine. I don't want it miles away, and so I want this a small, sleek kind of unit. This is a 14-inch base, and I want the platform to be no more than about 30 to 36 inches. We're building obviously to move the water away, but also we want this thing quiet. They're noisy. They inherently are noisy. You get a lot of water coming down, a lot of water gurgling through, air, whatever. In this environment where we've got this beautiful oasis and a roof that needs doing, obviously, we want the quiet and the solitude. So that's what we're going to go for. All right, well, I'm going to get this glued up, glued and Teflon taped up. I use the yellow gas tape. I find it's better, and then I use gas dope, pipe dope, for all my unions and joins. It just really seals it. You can see that he's used a flexible silicone, and then he's got gas or some kind of dope in his unions and his joints too. And it's just good practice. So yeah, let's get this thing glued up or fitted up.